All right, gonna finish up our multi-view drawing here. But while I'm at it, I didn't go over why designers or engineers make multi-view drawings. Okay, and that's an important thing to know. So let me pause real quick just for that. Yeah, multi-view drawings are the primary way a designer or engineer will communicate with the manufacturer, right, of a part that they're designing. So these kind of views will have like dimensions um, labeled, and that way the designer will know, or sorry, the builder or manufacturer will know exactly how big to make the different parts of that part or component. Okay. So yeah, that's a major reason. That's maybe the biggest reason for what multi-view drawings are used for. But also just a great way to communicate your general idea for something. All right, especially if it's a new component or new part that's supposed to be a solution for something, right? So that's kind of what multi-view drawings are used for. One other thing I want to mention while I'm thinking of it is line types. Okay, so we've learned a few line types so far in this class, and hopefully you remember them. We've got object lines. So this would be an object line. It's a dark line showing an edge on our object. Okay. Um, Another line type is construction line. All right, those lighter lines, and most of the time you should start your sketches and your outlines by using a construction line, okay, and then darkening it in as an object line when and where you need. Alrighty. Some other line types that we'll look at for this class. And these are terms that not only we use for sketching, but also even on Fusion 360. All right, there are things called construction lines. Uh, Hidden lines, all right, which show hidden edges, details that you'll not be able to see from a view, all right. So if I wanted to show where this metal part is in here, like the silver part, I would, draw these dashed lines, evenly dashed, to show exactly where that stops. Okay. Um, Center lines, there are with center lines you can have, yeah, it going like through your object or show on a hole, like if you're looking straight at a circle, where the center of that is. All right, those are arcs, um, and there's edge lines. There's many other types of lines. All right, so we're only talking about a few today, but I want you to sort of remember these line types they're used for. Okay, so we're working on the front view, and yeah, we left off bottom half of the stapler. Okay, so now we got to finish the top half. One thing I notice is this metal part here, silver. Okay, it has about a ½ inch gap all the way through here. Okay, so I can mark that out on here with the line about a ½ inch up from our base. Okay, and our base was a ½ inch tall, so that's perfect. That means if I make a point here, right, and not only are there construction lines, it's a point, right, and then one over here, I could, create that line. Frankly, I could just draw a very light line all the way across here, but I want to stop this line where I know it's to stop. And if I use my ruler and look at that, it's about 1 inch back, okay, that stops. One tile away from the edge, right, is where that's going to end. All right, so we're going to connect those. All right, this is a little light, actually, considering I know this is going to be an object line. Okay, so that's the bottom. It goes mainly straight up for about ½ inch, looks like. Yep, just measured it about ½ inch. And then as far as going back, it does, so this black part overlaps a little bit. So it comes down just a smidge. Maybe it's like 3/8 of an inch all back here where it meets in. Okay, so that is going to come in maybe right around here. All right, so we'll connect those. Okay, and this is going to extend a little further out, maybe not quite a ½ inch, but yeah, close to it. So a ½ inch would be half of my tile. All right. Could have connected this earlier. All right. And then I know the top point of this thing is 2.5 inches tall. I've already done that. It's at its tallest, not here, not there. It's back here. And so that is how far back? That's a full inch back. Okay. And it maintains that kind of 2.5 inch for a little bit, but really this is not straight across, right? And it's not a line either. Actually, this is kind of an arc, right? So I'm going to deal with that in a moment here. But I know that 1 inch back, so here's 1 inch back, it's 2.5 inches tall. It's at its tallest. So it's 1, 2, half, right? And this is kind of a curved, another arc, meeting the front of the thing, right? So now let's see how far back it has to go. Eventually it ends near this, but if it was a line, it would actually be a little bit above that, maybe like a 1/4 inch above that, maybe a little less. So if we do a tile that's, let's say, what, about an inch from the end? Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so 1 inch from the end, do about a 1/4 tile up, so that'd be halfway between half and the next one. That's going to be kind of where this thing ends. So I'm going to make that a straight line as a construction line, a light line now. And then I'm going to turn it into an arc for my object line. Okay. And then this eventually kind of tail, like, goes back like that. All right. But this needs to be an arc. So I'm going to try to make it an arc here. All right, and now it's got a kind of curve that looks representative of our shape. All right, this should be straight up and down. All right, and we've roughly got our front view. Great. Okay. This line does come back a little bit. I think I said it went back. Let's see, it was a certain distance. Maybe like an inch away. Okay, so we're going to draw that because we can see the edge. So that's kind of a good lesson with object lines. We should show edges, and if there's an edge, we need to represent it. All right. All right, great. So we've got our front view. Now we're going to go to our side view. Right. Again, remember, Fagan's huge pet peeve: misaligned multi-view drawings. All right. So make sure you get lined up correctly by drawing some lines over. And the dimension that the front and right views are going to share is height, right? Okay, so we're going to bring this over as well. Okay, and now we need to decide where to start our right view, okay, which is going to be like this. We don't want it too close here. Ideally, we would actually have like a little rectangle created here, okay, between this view, our right view, and an isometric up here. Yeah, we're deciding now how far away these are going to be. Okay, so I'm just going to say, you know what? I think I want this view to start maybe about here. Okay, and that's this corner that I'm doing right now. Okay, so we looked at it, and the depth was 1.75 inches. So if I count over 1.75, all right, so we're over here. That's going to be the base. Okay. The height, we go all the way up. When I look at this thing, these go part of the way up, and then they come the rest of the way. So it's like a rectangle, say. All right. Maybe borrow that line from over here on our front view. Again, making a light line. All right, and that is going to be pretty much a perfect little rectangle. Okay. From there, I do have these little like kind of fins in the back that I see that we marked how high they went over here. So we can borrow those lines. And do they go straight up or do they tape in a little bit? Kind of hard to tell. I'm looking at it square. It's just a smidge, and I think it's only about an 1/8 of an inch thick. Okay, so I know they're going to go up to this line. So I want something that is about an 1/8 of an inch thick. So it's going to be very small on here. It's 1/8 of this grid. Okay, so the inside edge, and I think that part goes pretty much straight up. Okay, so I'm going to connect the line above. There's one. There's the other side. And then instead of making it's a triangle, a perfect rectangle, so I'm going to maybe bring it about there and then connect to that corner. Do that with this side too. All right, square it off on the top. All right, and so now we've got the little fin back here. That guy right there. Okay. So work on the rest of the front view, or the right view, my bad. And we're kind of running out of time. So let's see, we knew this was 1/2 inch up. And this thing is kind of smallish. In the middle. Looks like it is a little over 2.5, or sorry, a little over 1/2 inch in size. It's right in the center. So maybe about like that. Okay, that's the silver part. So with the little time left, let's talk about how we finished this. Well, I finished sketching the top. You know, the top part of this on the right view. Okay, and you know how to do that. We've been looking at that. I'm going to borrow a line here. Okay, that kind of thing. But the last step would be adding an isometric view and some shading. Okay. And so yeah, our shading, we want it to be reflective of what we're seeing, right? And so obviously most of this is going to be pretty black. This is going to be lighter. Okay. And we go in and we shade. And as a reminder, for your lighter code, you may not want to actually be all the way white like this. That can kind of look a little, bright. So just add some little dots, flecks, and get that a little darker than just bright white. Okay, let's make it look a little better. But yeah, our isometric. And in this last minute, maybe I'll show a little bit of the isometric. Okay, but that is what a final multi-view will look like, right? It'll have typically the top front right, and then a top right orientation for your isometric. So for that, I know I'd have to get my wide V going. Okay, and ISO and equal measure. The grid's going to help me because I'm going at an angle, but I can literally use these distances to measure back. So 1.75 inches would be how long this goes. Let me actually use here. Okay. Go back to the 2. All right. And so that's the base of the taper. All right. And I can go on there, I got my Y, my Z, my X line. Let's try to make it parallel to those. All right.